When it comes to customization, we've talked about the home base. Talk a little about how customizable the actual characters are.
So in the current version of the game, our characters aren't very customizable, but that's not to say that we don't want that. Right now, those are conversations we as a dev team are having, like how customizable do we want it? I mean, we certainly see, sort of, we look at TF2 where you can get hats and boots and gloves and shirts and pants. Like, that's the world we want to live in. But right now, we're working on getting the fundamentals. Like, let's make the game super fun. Customization is important to us. It's just we're not there yet. We're getting close though.
But you do have a bunch of choices as I was playing in how you want to apply your skills and all those types of things. So talk about that element, because that would make my character different than your character, even if we're playing the same.
Absolutely. Each of our classes has their own skill tree, and in that skill tree you get to level up your skills in any way that you want. Eventually you'll get to take a path that maybe other people don't, so that people can min-max their characters unique to their play style. That's certainly a way that we're trying to develop our classes, is people can express themselves through the skills that they have and the way that they want to play.
The other thing that becomes very, very challenging in this game is once you go from having to protect one gate to 3, and I'm assuming even more than 3 as you get into difficulty. But talk a little about that element of the game, because there's the go out and get the resources part, build your fort, and then having to defend all these gates against all these different creatures.
Yeah, so the way the game is built right now, it's sort of like a tower defense where you have like a gate, you capture a gate, you then build a base around it, and you defend that base from monsters that spawn into trying to recapture the gate. Of course, like you just mentioned, we have modes that are multi-gate capture, where you could have like a gate that's in the sky, while there's also a gate in the ground. You have to protect both. If one dies, then you lose the mode. But that's just one mode. We have lots of different modes that we're not talking about right now that are going to go beyond that. Gate capture is more of we know this works, it's sort of a proof of concept, this is really fun. But based on that idea, we have so many other ideas that are percolating, so that people will have lots of different activities to do aside from gate capture. So we're excited to eventually show those other activities. We just can't show them today.
When it comes to, since 2011, you guys have been reaching out and working with fans and community. How have they helped you shape what the game is today?
The fans are huge, man. In the alphas that we've done so far, the response from these guys have been so hugely important to us. They've been giving us feedback that we wouldn't have been able to get in any other way. I mean, they're doing things in our game now that we haven't even imagined. I've always said that for me, Fortnite is about creating a toolbox, a toolkit through which people can then express themselves. And people are definitely expressing themselves in our games that we didn't think about. And that's what makes it kind of fun for us, because it's like they're turning our game into things that, we didn't know could go in that direction. And so they're bringing to us ideas for things that they want in the game, modes, enemies, weapons, and all these ideas are really great. And what's awesome is that their ideas that are coming at us align with our own ideas. So it's like we're all living in sort of the same zeitgeist, where we're like, yeah, we're all on the same page. This is awesome.
And you just mentioned weapons, and we talked a little about the branching characters, the customization from that standpoint. You can also do a lot of crafting that impacts all the different types of weapons. Talk a little about that system.
Yeah, our crafting system is fairly deep. Crafting system. We have a lot of really awesome RPG-style designers who have built a system that with a lot of math behind it. We intend on being able to give players the ability to augment their weapons by giving them, different powers or different elemental powers and things of that sort. I mean, we have hundreds of weapons in the game already, and we have room to make, thousands and thousands of weapons over time. Our system is really robust and scalable. There's really no end to the imagination that we'll be able to put into, creating our weapons. And, we have like the very standard sort of, hey, this is just a pistol. And then we have this is a really badass guitar, the honky tonk, or this is the rocket sledge, or this is the laser axe. So there's really, no boundaries for us in the kind of weapons that we can create.
And that's not even getting into the traps, which can get pretty creative as well.
And the traps that you've seen today are just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we really want to create a system that sort of, I keep going back to the Rube Goldberg essence, where we want to be able to make it so that you can create a playground of like triggerable things where, monsters could be bouncing all over the place, or, you can create these environmental situations that are like entertaining and different for everybody.
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, absolutely.